giving out my secrets here, Mel. Welcome to Outlandish, the podcast where we dive headfirst into the wild world of sex and relationships. I'm Lisa Nash.
And I'm Melanie Cameron. Get ready for some real unfiltered chats about the highs and the lows of modern love. We are tackling everything from the spicy to the scandalous.
And each episode will bring you the raw and relatable life stories, and we'll take a look at the hot topics everybody's talking about in the media relating to sex and relationships.
Now, today we've got medium Lara Wells joining us. She shared that bombshell, the telltale sign about whether a woman's cheating or not, by nipples pointing in the opposite direction. Do you remember that?
I do.
We'll be talking about manifesting love. Is it actually possible?
So go grab yourself a glass of wine, kick back, and get ready for a whole new take on love and lust. Outlandish is here to spice up your podcast playlist. Cheers.
Well, cheers, Lisa.
Yeah, you are tempting me there. She's got a cold, thirst-quenching beer right in front of me.
You didn't want to cheers me with your water?
I know. Oh, I'll cheers you with my water. Cheers. One more week and I'm back. Hey guys, how are we all doing?
No, I'm sure everyone thinks that I'm a really cruel friend, because you are doing amazingly well. For those of you that don't know, Lisa has been on a New Year's reset. So no sugar, no alcohol, no fun.
No fun. But I'm sticking to it and I'm down my way. I'm getting so much done. I feel amazing. So I've got a little way to go, but it's good.
I'll feel amazing after this beer.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm just tempted just to have a sip, but...
Don't do it. You're doing so well and I'm really
I'm
proud
stick
of you.
to it.
How's your week been?
It's been good, actually. Yeah, just what have I been doing? The week goes so fast, you kind of forget, don't you? Just, I've had quite a lot on, just meetings and... got lots of new stuff happening, so all exciting.
Well, you know that this is the first place you have to share it with everyone, so we'll watch that.
As soon as we get confirmation.
Excellent.
But, just planning the year ahead.
Planning and plotting.
Planning and plotting, I like
I
that.
had a really interesting morning. So I went and did a meditation class this morning.
Amazing.
So, you know, we spoke about this year we were going to spend a bit more time on ourselves, sort of bit of self-care, self-love, and... my lovely friend, my neighbour, Katie, said, there's this meditation class. I'm going to book it for us. Let's go. And I was like, well, you know what? This is something different rather than going to the pub together. So we did it this morning and it was really amazing. It was at a Buddhist centre. And it was
it a sleepy meditation? Because you seem full of beans.
No, although I have to say, the woman that was leading all of the meditation had a really soothing, quiet voice. And there were several of us that were going, because it was quite warm in there, and it was just such a lovely warm
but
vibe.
It's time for you just to switch off for a moment, isn't it?
It was
and
amazing.
Relax the brain and
they were talking about in a lot more detail. But the long and the short of it is, often when we get stressed out about things or frustrated or angry or upset, it's not the action; it's our reaction to it.
Yeah, of course.
And just about not giving your power to that and trying to take
and that's it. If you're in a
effort.
calm kind of I was going to say sedated, but not, not quite sedated.
That's how you have to calm me down.
Yeah.
Sedate her.
But you got that kind of sense of feeling.
We're not even 5 minutes in and she's already dropped a doozy.
But, that calm... can't get my words out now. And that calm kind of sense of just being at peace with yourself. Not sedated. Can't feel anything. But it's just a nice way to start. I remember years ago when I used to do this acting class and with a guy called Tony Greco from America, he used to come over, do the method acting, and he used to teach people like Sean Penn, and it was big, kind of big time. He brought a lot of big actors, and he used to do this exercise with us, and it was breathing and kind of moving all your body in there, and this particular skill was before you went for an audition. So you used it.
Okay.
So you got into that kind of state of being, like, and you ask yourself the question, like, where am I? Where am I? Until you've got nothing in your head and you kind of get rid of it all. So when you go into that audition room, you are clear to actually just work on that
really
piece.
interesting.
And I still use it to this day, even though I don't do a lot of acting so much anymore, but it's just a good way just to relax. And you also use your breath and you make these really weird sounds. I make one. It's like, ha!
I think sedated's better.
But no, I was that, so it kind of gets it all out.
I saw something the other day in my my school TikTok where they were saying, like, if you find it hard to clear your mind, just say to yourself, what's my next thought? Because I guarantee when you say, what's my next thought, you won't be able to think of anything. So like you said, where am I? Where am I? This time it's like, what's my next thought? Nothing. Okay, I'm clear. I also, when I used to go for a lot of auditions, I developed a method that if I really needed a job, there's something about you that walks in desperate for a job and they can smell it and they can see it a mile off. And that's why I think when you'd got a job, you'd nail 3 jobs in a row.
Oh, 100%.
So because you don't need it. It's like, I'd like it, but whatever, I'm all right.
It was always when I did this course, he used to come over once a year and it was like a month intense course, like every single day. And after that, I used to get job after job.
Yeah, it's mad.
Because you're in that frame of mind and you're picking up that technique and you're practicing, which is why, you've got to practice
this is what they were saying, and I'll wrap up because we could talk forever. This is what they were saying today. We have learnt so much over the course of our lives about how we handle things. That's going to annoy me. That's going to frustrate me. You're going to wind me up if you do that. That it takes a lot of retraining your brain to get into that different state. And she was saying, you're going to be tested and there's going to be times when you go back to that old habit. But if just being aware of it. But
it's the breathing as well, isn't it? Because I always find if I ever feel a little bit anxious or something's annoying me, I just take those 3, not 3, 4 kind of deep breaths in, for the count of 4, hold my breath for 4, and then breathe out.
Yeah, it
and
really
you do
works.
that. And I do you know what? I do it in the car sometimes, like especially if I'm stuck in traffic. But then I just know that I'm kind of training myself to breathe properly, which is really important. And also you're just getting that oxygen to your brain, you're slowing down your breath, which just naturally calms you and all your nervous system.
Yeah.
So
and that actually is you choosing not to give in to that, because instantly you want to go, oh, I'm stuck in traffic, I'm not going to be late, this is going to happen.
And to be in
then
control
you
of your
set
breath as well.
yourself up for a day of bad things happening one after another. Try and turn it on its head and go, okay, there's nothing I can do about this situation. I can't control it. I can't move traffic. So I'm going to use this next half an hour to think about, listen to music.
Do you know what? I actually don't get
bothered. Listen to a podcast.
Yeah. I actually don't get that bothered about traffic too much. And when I was saying that...
Because you're always sedated.
I'm always like, listening to podcasts. But no, in the sense of... It was more about I just take that time to do it. It wasn't just because of the traffic, if that makes sense. So just clearing that one up. Anyway.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, as ever, been checking out what's in the press this week. And the first story I came across was how many calories can you burn off whilst having sex? So...
Well, sex is kind of an exercise, isn't it?
Well, you always, you
build up a bit of a sweat if you're only good at it.
Yeah. And, there's often that joke when someone's new in a relationship, we're like, oh, you're looking a bit toned up. Oh, we've been having loads of hanky-panky. Yeah. But actually, this article in the Daily Star, again, must be true, it's quite shocking how few calories we actually burn whilst having sex.
So this is quite low, actually, isn't it?
It says in 10 minutes, the average woman would burn 78 calories. And the average man, if he weighed around 198 pounds, would burn 91. So that would mean...
That's like a Kit Kat, isn't it? A 2-finger Kit Kat. Do you know what? Every time I kind of compare it to a 2-finger Kit Kat.
Can you stop doing that with your hands again?
2 fingers. Sorry, guys, not swearing at you. 2-finger Kit Kat.
Why does everything you say sound like a double entendre all the time? So if the average man, I don't know who's average, weighs 198 pounds, again, don't even know what that is. Apparently, he would need approximately 6 hours and 23 minutes to lose a pound.
That's quite a lot. I did actually
a lot? 6 hours and 23 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. It's quite a lot of hours. Can you imagine if you're going to work?
Ridiculous.
You'd have to do 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the evening.
Oh man, no.
That's a lot, isn't it?
That's a lot. And the average woman.
But they actually saying what particular style, or is it just like
no? They're just
sex in
saying
general?
like having sex in general. That's what it would take to lose a whole pound. But I think, I mean,
Well, the thing
six
is that-
hours is just whatever.
Yeah, so like for the average woman, 77 kilos. I think. What was the pounds? I think it was.
I think it was £170. I get lost in all this.
So
I'm
that's what
still
I'm
in
saying. So
stones in my head.
£170, the average for a woman, which is 77 kilos, which I think is about 12 and a half stone. So it's you know, for the average woman, obviously you can compare your weight to that.
And it's hard to say average because we're all different heights, we're all different shapes,
But it's just giving you a guideline. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean,
they said she'd need 7 hours and 27 minutes to lose a pound. So hold on, what we're saying in this article.
You'd need to sleep, you'd need to eat.
But hang on, what we're saying is the man would only need 6 hours and 23 minutes to lose a pound, whereas a woman would need 7 hours and 27 minutes. So what is she doing for that last hour when he's lost his pound? Do you know what I mean?
Lying on her back going, oh, I'm so tired now.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I was looking at this as well, and what's the most calorific kind of exercises to lose the most amount of calories? And
What, the sexual position, you mean?
sexual position, yeah.
Okay.
So how many calories can you? Well, we haven't actually got how many calories, but the most, like, you know.
The most fat-burning sexual position.
Yeah, exactly. And I've never heard of this before, actually. I might be
She's such a liar.
Butter churning. So that is the sex position that will burn the most calories. Now, I'll explain what it is.
I don't know if we're getting too old because what's butter churning?
I'm just going to ask my podcast guy, do you know what butter churning is? No.
No,
Right,
see,
so,
it's not an age
for all of our
thing
listeners,
then.
I'm going to tell you.
Even our lovely engineer doesn't know.
So basically, the woman lies on her back
Right.
and puts her legs over so that her feet are kind of by her ears. And then
Right.
he's kind of standing up and kind of raising her, so her spine's off the floor, and then he's going downwards, if that makes sense. So yeah, I can imagine you probably get a backache after that as well.
Listen,
and then the second,
trying to
it's a
get
really good
into that
workout.
position, though.
And then the second one was the kneeling wheelbarrow, or I suppose you could do the wheelbarrow. So that kind of
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I think everyone could picture.
I mean,
that,
I
can't
do
they?
not come from a convent.
Just picture a wheelbarrow. He's
Don't
standing.
move your
yeah.
hands.
There's a lot of hand actions going on here.
you get yourself into all sorts of trouble by moving your hands.
So yeah.
Needless to say,
and the ones that are the least is doggy style. And actually, women have the most orgasms through doggy style. But
well, that's typical, isn't it?
I suppose
It's,
just
I'm going to
missionary
lose the
position.
least amount of weight, but I'm going to get the most orgasms. It's like someone went, gonna have to pick.
Yeah, which one is it?
It's like when you lose weight, you can either be thin or have boobs and a bum.
Which would you go for? Let's move on.
No, I'd go for lipo and make sure that I had a bit of everything.
Yeah. Good answer.
Okay, so the next thing is a theory that's been going viral on TikTok. Again, you're not a massive TikTok queen, are you?
No, but I did have a look today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Gotta do my research.
So the orange peel theory is basically the theory that would your partner do anything that you ask them to do just to make you happy? And it all began because a girl filmed herself saying to her other half, I really want an orange. And he was like, well, there you go. Here's an orange. And she was like, yeah, but I can't peel it because it gets under my nails. And what you're supposed to do is see if your partner then picks it up and says, I'll peel it for you. And he went, well, then tough, pal. And it then became a viral thing that everyone was trying it with their partners to see if they would actually peel it for them. So it's become a viral thing. So
we don't know whether this was set up or
no, but I
the
don't
other
know if the
thing, but
initial one was, but it's been lots of people have done it since. So then we're asking, would your partner peel an orange for you if you asked them to? And if they didn't, would you think, right, that's it, he doesn't love me?
So I think the key here is you've got to look at the fact of we all want to feel like our partner will do things for us, desire, like looks at us with what's the word I'm looking for? Looks at us that they want to do things, and and please us.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then is that a significant red flag? Maybe not. And the thing is, what I will say is, I think there's probably a lot of people out there that are thinking, and maybe causing arguments with their partner. Would you actually peel an orange for me?
Yeah.
So I think this particular exercise, you can't base your real life.
No, and I think it's...
your real life relationship on it, but there are questions that come up, aren't there? Like, would you actually do that for me? Of course I would, darling.
Yeah.
Or, well, no, you can peel it yourself.
Yeah,
Or-
see,
or-
that's
or-
the thing.
Or is she just being lazy?
That's the thing, right? So there are things that Ash would do for me, like if I said, can you come and pick me and my pals up? We've been out for the night and we can't get an Uber and we're all drunk.
Yeah.
And he would 100... He has done it a million times. But if I said to him, can you peel an orange for me? He'd go... Peel it yourself. Why do you need me to peel you an orange?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, her kind of back out of that was, I've got nails and they get right under my nails.
And I get that.
I have got nails, but I find with the nails, it's easier to peel the orange. So
what annoyed me about this particular article was the guy then responded by, she was like, so you wouldn't do that for me? And he was like, no, do it yourself. I'm trying to make you an independent woman. Whoa, first of all.
And also then
So hold on,
Yeah.
rewind selector. We don't need a man to make us independent women. We do that very much on our own. Thank you very much. So we don't need you to help us become independent women. First, that's what really charmed me about that.
Yeah, and also when he said to her, oh, you're not that special anyway.
Then what are we doing here?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it kind of refers a little bit back to the love language as well, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
the love language and the
Is
acts of
orange
service.
orange peel
Yeah.
your love language?
Yeah. Well, no, it's like all the things within the love language, and it's like, would you do something for me? So, but you've got to weigh it up, and as with everything, relationships are different. And I think if he said to me, "Oh, peel that for me," because my hands are sore from doing something, I would instantly do it.
Yeah, me
But
too.
if he did it constantly, just being lazy, then I would say, peel it yourself.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, if you're like, could you peel that for me because I've just been clean, I've got bleach on my hands or whatever, that's different to... The whole thing was like, can you get will your partner do anything for you to make you happy? I don't think that's healthy, having someone that will do anything for you at any moment.
Because then you just lose your independence, your identity, and you get
also,
lazy. I think
but
at the
you
end of the
don't
day,
want someone that just bows down to your every whim.
Do you know what? In a way,
99% of whims.
I was single for many years when my daughter was young, and in a way, it was the making of me. And I tell you why, because I had to do everything myself, from DIY. I had angle grinders in my garage. I decorated my house myself. I did literally did everything. And do you know what? Now I'm such a capable woman, and I'm able to kind of do lots of different things. A lot of my friends say, "Leesh, if you're going to do this or hang this bit of wallpaper, I know everything." So
I'm proud of you for that. Well done, darling.
Thank you. But you know what? When you've got to do it, you find a way, and we're all capable of doing that, and that's the key. And you don't want to lose that part of you. Anyway.
Also, I'm not about to walk out of a relationship over an orange.
No,
or an
that's
orange
what I
peel.
mean. So it's important for people, if they're listening, to all relationships are different, and
You can't judge everything on an orange peel.
Yeah, or on a
That
TikTok.
famous
viral.
old saying.
Right, so the next one, I was having a little look through, and this is like, this is one of the, you're going to love this, Mel.
Oh, why do I feel like I'm not going to love this, Lee?
This is like one of those old school kind of quizzes they did in the magazines.
Oh,
yeah?
I used to love are you A? Are you B?
Yeah. So we've got one of those today, and this one's all about your kind of sex position. I'll rewind there. Not sex positions, but how comfortable and how sexy are you? So let's get started, right?
Oh, man.
You ready for it?
I don't know. I think I prefer the ones I used to get in Just 17, which was like...
they're a bit more tame than this
like,
one.
will he love me?
Yeah.
Can I make him fall for me?
Well, do you know what? They're not far off. So
Okay, go on.
Let's
Go on,
start.
I'm game. Let's go.
So, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? A, me, I'm not perfect, but I'm a good package. B, numerous faults, too fat, not curvy enough, old, ugly, the same negative quality. C, someone should probably go on a health kick. D, perfection, no wonder everyone loves me.
Right, first of all, you laughed and went, someone should probably go on a health kick. So we all know what Lisa thinks I should see when I look
I
in the
definitely
mirror.
don't think you need to go on a health kick, darling.
Oh God, I wouldn't say that there's any one of those that I particularly am, but the one I'm closest to is, meh, I'm all right. So this is the first one. I'm not perfect,
But good
far from,
package.
but I'm all right as a package.
Oh, you're more than all right, my darling.
Thank you, my darling.
Okay, so moving on. Number 2, how often are you asked out? A, quite a lot, if I'm putting out the right vibes. B, way too much. C, not that much, but I'm usually taken anyway. And D, never.
Well, I am taken, and I have been taken for a long time. But occasionally, if I meet people and they are not aware of that, they might. But yeah, not often. Everyone knows I've been in a relationship for 150 years.
Right. Okay. So 3, are you the most attractive person in your friendship group? A, I'm probably the least attractive. B, maybe, but we're all attractive in our own way. C, about average. D, by far the best.
So, first of all, I've got lots of different friendship groups like you, and all of my friends are gorgeous. They are all different ages, shapes, sizes.
I don't think beauty is just aesthetic.
No.
I think, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
They've all got different personalities. They're all different races, religions. They've all got different sexualities. And I would like to think that we're all as equally beautiful as each other.
I'm not sure that's on there, but I'll take that. It's like catchphrase. Then I'll take that one. Okay, so number 4, how often do you make the first move? A, depends on the situation, but I'm not afraid to. I wouldn't. So B, I wouldn't have the confidence. Say I've misread it and they just want to be friends.
All friend zone.
Yeah, friend zone. C, I never need to. Most people can't keep their hands off me. D, I have to be having a good body day.
Oh, I mean, a mixture of all of those. I mean, again, it's been a long time, but I would say in the past, I have made the first move occasionally if I wanted to, yeah.
We are in the 20th century.
Exactly, yeah.
So 5, how often do you initiate sex in your relationship? Sorry, Ash, we're getting personal here. A,
I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't here.
I know, I'm going to call him up after. Did she answer correctly? So A, never. I spend my life trying to avoid it. B, my partner wants it more than me, so I rarely get the chance. C, we each initiate about the same amount. D, my partner's always the one to initiate.
I'd say C, about the same.
About the same.
Yeah.
There you go. Cool.
But we've been together for a really long time, so we know each other by this point.
Well, you want to think so. Imagine, oh, what's that? I haven't seen that before. Sorry. Oh, girly giggles in the studio today. Okay. C. Which I can't even read, actually. My eyes are filled up with water.
I don't know how you can't read, because if you've seen the size of your writing on that, I just have to tell everyone. So
Thank you.
Lisa is in charge of printing our scripts every week.
We have our little things.
All our notes, and I've just looked at my copy, which is just the normal size wording. And then I've looked over at Lisa's and it's like magnified.
No, mine's only 14. Yours is 12. It's only up just one kind of
I don't
grade.
believe you.
Oh. Stop giving out my secrets here now. Anyway, so 7. Which best describes your attitude to sex? So A, I love the power rush I get when I know someone desires me. B, it's one of my greatest pleasures in life. C, I can kind of take it or leave it. Or D, I don't understand what all the fuss is about.
I'd say none of those.
Okay, so do you want to make one? Should we do an E then? Can I have an E, please, Lise? Yes, go on then. What's your answer?
I've forgotten the question. I think we can safely say I failed this quiz. I am not sexy at all. I mean, what's not sexy about this?
So which best describes your attitude to sex?
Yeah,
You like the power rush.
I know it's not about a power rush.
The greatest pleasures in life.
It's not one of my greatest pleasures. It's a pleasure in life.
Take it or leave it.
No, a bit more than that.
Yeah.
See,
you don't understand.
What is this? I would go somewhere between greatest pleasure in life and take it or leave it. I'd be in the middle of that.
Somewhere there, yeah.
It's not my greatest pleasure in life, but
Well, we've got loads of questions, but let's go in with a couple more. So, do you talk about sex openly with your partner?
You've actually got tears rolling down your
I've actually got a tear rolling down my face.
Do I talk about sex with my partner? Okay, go on. What's the options?
Okay, so A, I find talking about sex uncomfortable. I find it
hilarious.
Oh my God, sorry, snivelling here. So B, I'd rather read somebody's body language than put things into words. C, I don't need to. All my partners are happy. How many partners? All my partners are happy with how I am in bed. D, how else do you solve problems? Question mark.
What's E?
Oh my God.
I want to go for an E, please.
Oh, listeners, we do have to apologise. This is tickling me. I think we should do a quiz each week.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you next week.
Oh, I've got tears rolling down my face.
This has been a bit of a shit show. But
Right,
it's been funny.
So, question was, do you talk about sex openly?
Yeah, I'm all right to talk about sex. I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. I think it depends on, like, if you're in a relationship where you can have those conversations, great. You might not meet someone for the first time and go, so let's have a chat.
This is what I like.
Yeah. And do you know what I hate what you do?
Yeah.
Well, that was good English, wasn't it? Do you know what I hate what you do? That was great Queen's English.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so got two more. We might as well do them.
Go on.
So, how comfortable are you naked? A, have you seen me? I'm hot. B, I avoid letting anyone see me naked. C, I'm nervous to begin with, but once things get going, I'm fine. Or D, confident most of the time, but obviously have a few off days.
E, good in candlelight downwards.
Dimmed lights.
Candlelight, I'm great. I think that depends. That's different on any given day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
definitely.
And most women feel like that.
Yeah, whether you got your fake tan on, whether you're looking nice, feeling sexy.
Like when you come back from holiday and you're a bit tanned and you're like, oh, all right,
You want to get your kit off and walk around the bedroom.
Especially if,
Braid it.
you know, I went to Ibiza with the girls, not last year, the year before, and we did mainly boozing and dancing around. So by the end, everybody had lost a few pounds. And I was like, oh, I'm brown with a few pounds down. I feel quite good about myself, you know. But
And you always look better with a tan anyway, don't you? Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
Yeah. So last one. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hot do you think you are? So A, which would be 9 to 10, so top. B, 7 to 9. C, 5 to 7. Or D, under 5. I'm going to rate you. I'm going to say A, 9 to 10.
Yeah!
End of the quiz.
What she says.
You know what? I don't know how you tally it all up and how well you've done and how sexy you are, but I think you're. I'm going to sum you up. Actually, I think you're nicely open. You've obviously clearly got a good sex life, and you communicate well, verbally and physically.
Oh God!
And we'll leave it there.
I'm bringing sexy back.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
That's all right. You're welcome. Thank you for all your honest answers. Okay, moving on. So we've got our guest on now, and Lara is the medium that we had on our first show. And if you remember, she was talking about opposing nipples how they and how they revealed if he was having an affair. But today we're going to speak to the lovely Lara, all about manifesting love. Now, believe it or not, in December there was a survey that actually showed that so many people were after manifesting love. So we're going to ask you all of these questions. But first, before we get to that, I was looking in the paper, as you do. Well, online. Actually, we don't look in papers these days so much, do we? But we're talking about...
1982 called Lisa, like it's paperback.
But Kim Kardashian, she is a big manifester. She's talking about... At the moment, obviously being single, she's looking for love. And I've got a little list here, actually, of some of the things that she wrote
What's
down.
on Kim's list?
Yeah, this is what's on Kim's list. So when she's looking for love in a man, he needs to be able to calm her and also drive her wild, which I think is a great kind of couple to start with. Also, no airing out their dirty laundry. And also that accepts you for who you are and wants to push you in the right way so you get your highest potential. And also, this is the other thing, she said they can't be bored. What do you think about all of that?
Well, before Lara jumps in, it just sounds like the opposite to everything she had with Kanye, basically, on that list. I mean, obviously,
you know what? That's true.
I know.
Well, we don't know whether he drove her wild. He drove her probably mad.
No, allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Right, Lara, you speak now before I get into trouble.
Okay, right, yeah. Let's not go along the madness route, shall we? It's when you've got nipples pointing in different directions. That could be the version of
I can't even tell you.
We loved that. The response we got on that show was great, wasn't
Lara,
it?
it was hilarious. I was just saying before we started, I had pictures from my friends, like showing themselves looking at their boobs to check their nipples were going in the right way. Or my friends would start a text message with, just heard the podcast. By the way, my nipples are pointed in the right direction. As if to prove they're
that
not
was
cheating.
a relief, wasn't it? I know.
Yeah.
Hey,
Brilliant.
you don't think of these things, do you, until
You don't?
somebody mentions it, and you're like, why do we not know this stuff? Honestly, what do they teach?
Do you know what though, Lara?
Nowadays?
That blew my mind. I've never heard anything like that. Is it? I mean, I feel like this is bad to ask you, but is it definitely true? Because I've spoken to a few people, and they've said like my nipples are definitely like pointing in the right direction. But I'm like, well, clearly you're not having an affair.
That's right. Yeah, and I'm not really sure on the the chemistry. The bio.
How it actually works.
Biochemistry. You're like, yeah. But I also know as well, on a completely different end, is often when if I've got a client, when they say the eyes are the window to the soul.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, if I'm looking into a client's eyes, and their eyes work individually, i.e., I don't know if you've ever noticed that, with anybody, where one eye could be just slightly in lag, it could be working slowly, or it's going forward and the other one's moving around more and stuff.
Isn't that just called a lazy eye?
Well,
or
no,
pissed
the lazy
in my
eye
case.
is like,
Or had one too many.
One eye looking at you, one eye looking for you.
I know. Or as one of my sons says, one eye's going to Tesco's and the other one's coming back with a change. But
I'm having that.
I know. But anyway, so the two different parts of their brain are working like independently, right? And so the kind of whole nipple thing in different directions, you think about it, you're doubling up in life, aren't you? You're actually probably, because it's an affair, maintaining some sort of normality with, whoever you're with. And at the same time, you're actually, leading a separate life, a different life, So
mad.
Duality is something probably that it is naturally in us anyway, but that they're taken to the extreme, aren't they? Opposing nipples, are you capable of having an affair? Well, the nipples are saying, yeah.
Do you know what? The next time I meet someone that I know is having an affair, I'm going to be like, listen, nipples out.
Yeah.
I need to have a look. Sorry, let's go back to what your initial about.
Right, so we're talking about manifestation. So I mean, how have you helped people manifest in love, and is it possible? I mean, for me, to be honest,
she's got a very good point. Right, often, if you speak to mainly probably women, because they're more list people.
Yeah,
girls, are you list people? Do you write? If it's not on a list,
well, do you know what? I've actually wrote down here. For me, because I have manifested lots in the past, probably about love as well. But,
she manifested me, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. You know what? I do believe in manifestation. So, I mean, the thing I've wrote down here is like to write down everything you want, but be very, very clear of what you want. That I think
call them non-negotiables.
Non-negotiables. Yeah, and also, I mean, there's loads of stuff on YouTube that you can go on about manifestation, but a lot of it does say just be very, very clear about what you want and make a list, and then I love that what you just said, non-negotiable.
You make them non-negotiable. So start, like I usually say, 10. 7's quite hard to come up with. Once you get to 7, it can be easy to get 7, and then
they can't be perfect.
No, well,
I mean, we all want someone that's perfect, but then
perfect's different. Yeah, but you can't build a house without foundation, right? So the non-negotiables are your foundation, and like you're saying, you've got to be really clear, what you put on there, and be careful what you ask for as well. But my interest was piqued because I've got friends, and various people where they'd be like, oh, do you know, I made a list about my ideal guy. right? And I got the opposite of every single thing that I had on that list,
Why is that then?
right? Yeah, and that happens a lot. This is when I came up with the non-negotiables, and it's more of an energy thing, is that what you're writing is probably from your logical mind, but
Right.
did you know that your ideal partner is actually predetermined? In other words, you've profiled for them before the age of 5. I know.
Really?
Every time we have you on, Lara, you blow my mind a little bit. That's like a bombshell every time. Is this why we have this
Before the
whole
age of 5.
Prince Charming thing, because of the whole Disney thing that we're brought up with?
Exactly. And what happened before the age of 5? We got read fairy stories, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Rapunzel, and all the rest of it.
Well, this is the thing. When you're at school, is all you dream of is getting married and having the perfect dress.
I'm just trying
to
think about who my first crush was. It was George Michael when he was in Wham. I definitely read that wrong, didn't I?
Yeah.
So that actually tells you a lot.
Oh, but I think
but
he didn't come out first of all, did he? So that's.
But
the
I
thing.
definitely read that energy wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we might need a little bit of an adjustment.
Yeah.
With that. So there's logically, isn't there, what you think you should have?
Yeah.
And then there's the subconscious stuff, right? And it's that, manifesting, it's more about attraction and getting your energy right to attract it in. And the non-negotiables are basically, if you're building a fence, they're your fence posts.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you haven't got the post, it's going to wibble and fall over.
Yeah.
It's there's no substance there. We're perhaps doing it from, gathering lots of information about what the media or society are telling you should be your ideal partner. Right.
So
and I mean, how often have you ended up with somebody and then thought, oh God, they remind me of my dad?
Yes. I often say that about Ashley. I'm like, oh, you're just like my dad. What have I done? And then he says to me, you're just like my mum. And I'm like, we literally are just a walking, what's the word? Stereotype.
Stereotype, yeah.
But I've completely forgotten what I was going to say now. See,
well,
that's the menopause fog. It will come to me. You talk.
You know what I was going to say, actually? So there's things that I know about manifesting. Like I said before, writing everything down. You've got the full moon. When you're feeling your energy is alive. I know when my energy is bursting. Like if it's, to attract like work jobs or whatever it might be. When your energy's right. But what would be your top tips on manifesting love? So give us your 5 top tips.
When you're on your own, you tend to lie in the middle of the bed, don't you? And sort of spread out or whatever. So really lie over one side of the bed. You've got to actually literally position yourself so that you're telling the universe and that you're ready. You're open, you're ready, and you're in attraction mode, right? You're already living like you're in a couple, except they're invisible at the moment. Right, you can't physically see them,
and really
but energetically, you're calling them in. So if you've got a car and I've got to drive, park the car over one side of the drive, give space to somebody else. A really good one is clear your drawers out, right, and your wardrobe so you've got space for somebody else to.
Don't want to move it in just yet.
No, I know, and it might be a bit sudden and a bit soon.
Can you imagine they come over? Oh, that drawer's empty. Maybe I'll just put a few things in there.
No, I have heard this one before, Lara. Actually, it's just clearing a space in your life for them, really, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah, moving,
which makes total sense.
A lot of people want a relationship, but don't have time for one. Right? They're very independent. Women are very independent nowadays. I'm often saying to them, you might be able to change a light bulb, right? Or wire a plug, or, take the trash out, or, fix the boiler or whatever, but don't. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should.
Yeah, so wait until you meet that man and let him do it. Just the last question we've got for you, Lara, if that's okay. What's the strangest thing that someone's wanted to manifest when you've worked with them?
I guarantee Lara's got a strange one. I know she has. I know you have, Lara.
So when someone's come to you, they want to find out something. You don't need to keep it clean.
No, you don't have to keep it PG on this, Lara. You can just say what it is.
Actually, the non-negotiables, I say 10, right? She came back with 27.
Oh,
right, even down to the length of his leg, the position of his bum, right? Everything, right? She was so detailed about it. I attended that wedding, in October, by the way.
You
of
did
them getting
not.
married.
Oh, so she actually found the person.
She only flaming called it in.
I was going to say
God.
she hasn't got any hope in hell, but she did.
No, she did. Right. His height 6'7". She actually had, because she's tall, they had to be over 6'5". She got 6'7". So I thought, well, do you know what? I thought I was actually quite impressed. But manifesting, the usual ones are, money, love, health. That's,
The
quite
three
thingy.
main ones, aren't
And
they?
often, like I get some people, depending on culture and stuff, who want me to manifest a great life for them, for somebody else, not even for them, but for somebody else, or protect them or whatever. But I find the apple spell works really, really well for attracting love.
What's the apple spell?
Right? The apple spell, I call it the apple spell or apple charm, when you get an apple, right? And I've got it in PDF form and stuff because, I give it to clients and things. So if anybody wants to message in after, this podcast or whatever, Lara, I'm happy to send it.
And where can they find you, very quickly? Where can they find you?
Instagram, Lara Wells TV, or Facebook, Lara Wells Live. But you need apple, a bit of ground, or, a pot, and a piece of paper, red thread, and baking it. Because if you cut an apple across the middle, it's a 5-pointed star with your pips, you see? So you're using all the elements. As basically you write in there who you want to attract in, put it to ground, right? Bury it after you baked it in the oven, right? As it goes to ground, your love will manifest.
So sorry, let me just clarify this. You cut an apple in half, but the right way, so you've got the 5-star in the middle. Yeah, you bake it.
Yeah.
And then you write on a bit of paper everything.
No, you write on a bit of paper, fold it 9 times, right? A strip of paper, fold it 9 times, because 9's an infinite number. You place it between the 2 halves, wrap red threads round about the 2 halves to keep it together, and then bake in the oven for about 20 minutes. Right? And then, it smells wonderful. But when you bury it in the ground,
did you say?
The full moon,
under a full moon.
Because we want power for this.
I love that, Lara. That is such a great tip.
Does it work if you're already in a relationship, Lara? I'm going home to bake some apples. Sorry, Ash.
Well, I once had somebody who, they were so desperate, to get this man, get married, blah, blah, blah. So we did this, right? I says, right, okay, we're going to do this. It attracted them in. They got married, despite the fact the guy was like, I'm never going to get married again. But then she went off him further down the line. So she wanted to divorce him. Well, it was a little bit trickier. Because I said,
Lara, we're going to have to move on, unfortunately. Yeah. But you know what? As always, we could talk to you forever. We are definitely going to get you on again very soon. But thank you so much. And thanks for your time.
Lara, we love you.
Bye.
You're great.
Bye, darling.
Bye.
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 Bye. Oh, I could speak to her forever.
Oh, for hours.
She's great, isn't she?
She's the best.
But we're going to move on to our love line now.
Love line. Okay.
So my partner and I have been dating for almost 5 years, and we're actually engaged to be married.
Oh.
But no date is set yet. We are long distance, the first 4 years due to our careers. I was in London and he would spend months all around Europe. It's not ideal for a new relationship, is it? Well, for 4 years anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, we moved in together a year ago because he got a promotion and we're now settled in the UK. But, always a but, I feel like I'm slowly falling out of love now I'm living with him. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Our relationship was great while we were apart, but a few months of living with him, I already wanted out.
Oh.
He's a great man, but he's lazy to a whole nother level. You see so much when you move in with somebody, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm the one that has to run the house. I'm doing all the food shops, the cooking, making sure the bills are paid on time. I have to ask him even to take me out on dates or to show me through actions that... to show actions that he actually loves me. I don't feel any excitement anymore. And a lot of the time, I avoid being intimate with him because of how I'm feeling. Of course, it'll overflow, won't it?
Yeah, of course.
I feel drained being a provider and teaching a grown man how a partner should be. I've never had to teach a guy how to act when in a relationship, and it's definitely the biggest turn-off. I feel like I'm raising him like I'm his mother. I think the distance played a big factor in making me think he's the one to be with. Will it get better? Do I hold on to what could be potential and just suck it up?
Right. Wow.
I'll let you answer all of those, Mel.
First of all, I think that's really common. Like they're moving in together.
Things change, don't they?
They say it makes you or breaks you. It's like, they say you never know someone till you've been on holiday with them. And that's true.
Yeah.
I've had friends that I've known for years, gone on holiday and gone, as soon as we get back to the UK, I'm deleting your number because you're a nightmare.
You
and
hear
I'm
that
sure
a lot, don't
people
you?
thought the same about me. But there is one phrase that comes to mind that our friend Helen always used to say, actually. I'm your lover, not your mother.
Oh, I love that. I've
And
not heard
that's-
Helen.
yeah.
Well, she's obviously not had to say it to me, has she?
But she didn't say it to me either.
You just heard her say it.
I was saying that I'm your lover, not your mother. And I think that's a really true saying.
Yeah.
However, in this case, it sounds...
Do you think this guy's got complacent? Maybe he wasn't like that on his own. That's the other thing. Or are they just like that in general? Or is he like that in general? That's the thing.
I'm going to sneeze.
Bless you.
Me. Thank you. Once a wish. I'm not telling you what it is.
Twice a kiss.
I think that it goes back to something that we spoke about last week, and that's the honeymoon period, right? We're all putting our best version of ourselves forward. And then when you're living with someone, the mask slips, okay? You're starting to see people for who they are and what they're like in real life, if you like.
Yeah.
Also, you know, when you're on dates and you're meeting up and it's date night or you're going out and it's exciting, you're literally doing everything you can to please each other. When you're living together, it's real life, right?
So I think it comes to, again, it would be try and sit down, have these conversations. Even, do you know what, sometimes going back to lists, write a list of all the things that...
Have a relationship audit.
Yes, a relationship audit. So it's all about maybe, making a list, finding that 5-minute coffee hack.
We're literally
a little bit
pulling...
longer on this one, but just to sit down and just say, look, is there any room for improvement here? And then just like, this is not what I'm about for the rest of our lives. We're about to get married. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah. But I do also think as well, it's not the honeymoon period forever. Things do change when you move.
Well, they're 4 years in, aren't they? So
yeah,
it's kind of...
It is going to change. But yeah, have that conversation. And
good luck with it.
Yeah, and I think also... No, like I do think the knowing your boundaries as well, and saying, you know, so this is what I'm prepared to put up with, like you said before.
That's it, yeah. Well, listen, good luck. As with all the people that write into us, good luck with everything. Hope we've given some good advice.
Lisa was trying to kick me there to say we're running out of time. I just really wanted to carry on talking just to annoy her.
We got a time schedule. Listen, guys, thank you all so much for listening and watching. We love doing this show, so please do give us a like. Make sure you follow us on all the socials. Outlandish.
And on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. Give us a rating and a review. We'd love a 5 if you've got it in you.
Yeah, and make sure you write into us. We love hearing all your stories as well.
Yeah, don't forget, we'll keep it all anonymous.
And we love hearing from all of you, so make sure you keep writing into us.
Don't forget info@outlandish.live or DM us on Instagram @outlandish.live. We will see you next time.